Hey everybody, this is Rhoda from Cigar City Tarot. Welcome to day 5 of Ethony's 31 Days of Tarot Challenge. So you're probably wondering why I have a Celtic cross laying up here. But today's question for us is to talk about what was our best or worst or memorable 2021 tarot moment. And so only one really came to mind to me. I mean, there were many and whatnot, and, in ahas and in classes and in practicing and in self-reflection, but this one came down to validating a feeling that I had. And so without going into too much explanation, I wanted to orientate us to the two cards that I'm going to talk about and why this was a memorable moment. I won't call it a worst moment. I won't call it a best moment. It was a memorable moment. So in this particular version of the Celtic cross, you'll recognize the layout if you use it. You have your U position card, the card that's crossing you, or your challenge card, reading down. And I know this is not the right or wait way of doing it, but this makes more sense to me. It's also the way I'm learning and have learned from the Dusty's courses. The root cause, the events of the past or the baggage you may be carrying, and then you go, so you're reading it down along the way. You get to what your near-term future is based on this, and then your hope or what your fears are, blah, 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 all the way up to the outcome. So the particular cards we're going to talk about is the card number 4. So events of the past. It could be near past. It's really not going to be 100 years ago, 10 years ago. And then we're going to talk about the 7 cards. So this for the your client, querent, whatever you want to call them. This is their scenario. So things that have shaped their near-term future and will eventually work on shaping these 2 cards and how they get over here, as well as this particular querent's their fears. So I'm going to stop sharing there, orientate it. I do not have the full Celtic cross laid out, but because this has been a couple of months ago that I read for this person, and the only 2 cards that really stood out to me because it validated the crazy feeling that I had. So I will stop share and we should go back to my cards. So this is facing towards you. So my hands, I'm sitting here. You're sitting there as though, now normally when I read for a client, I'm turning the cards. So I'm putting the cards out that face me so I can read them. So in this case, this is the 3rd position. It is an upright tower card for this reading. Then I had card position 5, 6, and then card position 7, and it was a reversed meaning. So, but for you guys, I'll turn it around so it's easier for you to think about the orientation that I'm talking about. So remember, this is card position 3. So this is the past and or things that are baggage that are being brought into the current situation. And this is the client's fears. Tower was upright, major arcana, major crazy card. And the strength, again, a major arcana, can be a major crazy card depending, but it is reversed. So anyway, long story short, the querent was asking specifically about how they could, they've recently moved in the last couple of years, kind of middle-aged move, maybe a midlife crisis, I don't know, but asking how they could potentially do better, find work that was more appropriate for their skill level. They, left up north, and obviously up north, there are union shops moving to Florida. Florida is a right to work state, so whatnot. So the pay isn't always commensurate if you were used to union wages versus the same job in here in Florida where there aren't that many unions. It's mainly a right to work state. Anyway, so as I'm going through the spread and whatnot, I use cards 1, 2, 3, and 4 to really validate, to make sure that my spread is correct. It's giving me the right message. I'm in tune with what the cards need to tell this person. And so I get to this particular position as what happened. And just to let you know, this particular person is not someone that I trust. I don't know them well. They are a friend of mine, and you know, it's just one of those feelings that you get. You guys know what I mean. And so wasn't hesitant to read for them, but certainly knowing that I had to make sure that I tuned out all of my maybe predisposed notions, prejudices, whatever. Anyway, going through and I see the Tower card. Tower card for me, as it is for most of you, to me, the first thing that came out, not only is it a major arcana and the probably the worst one that you could get in terms of the universe saying, dude, you haven't been listening. And guess what? Things are going to change. They're going to change abruptly and you got to move on, right? But I got, the way I read it was, and I think my words were something like, well, about 2 years ago, it looks like you got thrown out of your house. Your father died, and you lost everything that you were used to. Not knowing the situation, the person wasn't very forthcoming. You know, a lot of times you'll ask your clients questions and whatnot. And to my surprise, they were like, how did you know that? I guess they thought I'd talked to their friend, who is my friend. And I go, well, I'm just telling you this feeling I get, right? So anyways, we're going on. And so I could tell that this person was becoming a little bit more interested, because I don't think that their initial thoughts about tarot were any particular way. They weren't anti, they weren't for, they didn't, you know, it's just, it was a Halloween party. And I think they thought it was novelty. Anyway, I'm going through the spread. And again, I took it, you know, very seriously. And, you know, they ask a question, I'm trying to answer as best I can. And then I get to card position 7, which is the querent or client's fears. And this, again, for your perspective, is a reversed card. Normally, as everyone knows, when the strength card is upright, you know, it's, you know, it depends on the reading, but I always say, you know, soothing the savage beast, you know, making sure that you're taking the high road and not getting quagmired down. You're able to get through a situation without fighting, you know, without that exertion of force. You're able to rule with the velvet hands, you know, depending. But on this particular case, it was reversed. And I told this person, I said, you have an anger management problem. I said, I'm not sure if you've gotten help for it, but is this something that you know about yourself? And I thought this person was going to fall off their chair. Not only did I get one of my verification cards that my spread was right on based on the questions that we had agreed upon it for the reading, but when it came down here, totally out of left field. And after they opened up a bit more, found out that although the father had passed the 2 years before, there was an issue with an ex-partner that due to this anger situation. So to me, that was memorable. As my friend texted me 2 days later after the reading saying that this person was still talking about and couldn't believe. And I thought, wow, you know, this was a Halloween party. We're all kind of having some drinking and eating and having a lot of fun, but my Halloween party was tarot and tall tales. So in this case, 2 major arcanas, very bad card in an upright position, can mean a lot. That to me, it just, I pulled it out of my intuition head, I guess. And this one can be a bad card upside down. And, but it validated the feeling I had about this person. Now, did I go and tell my friend about this? No. Do I worry about their situation? I do. Their guard is up. So anyway, my memorable moment. Don't forget to like and subscribe, or like this video if you did. And I will link Ethony's 31 Days of Tarot Challenge. Look for what other readers are doing. I think they're fun to look at. It is #31 Days of Tarot, all one word, all together. And I will see you on day 6.